All right, guys, we're going to start our watercolor experiment. You're going to have your work-through sheet here, and we're going to chart. We're making a chart to experiment with different kinds of watercolor techniques. And our objective of this unit is to come up with different techniques. Then you'll choose your favorites, and we'll put them together for a drawing, okay? Your watercolor paper is thick, and it has like little bumps in it, which I call nooks and crannies, but real artists call it tooth, like the teeth that are in your mouth, okay? That tooth is what we use to hold the water, and it's like a nook and cranny with the butter on your English muffin, okay? So what is it called when the paper has nooks and crannies? Tooth. And why do we need this good watercolor paper? If you did watercolor on something thin, it would get all bumpy. So we need it to hold up to the water. Now, paper is measured by the pound. So your sketchbook paper is 20 pounds. That means that a ream of sketchbook paper weighs 20 pounds. This watercolor paper is 120 pounds, super thick. That means a ream or giant bunch of it weighs 120 pounds, okay? Now, it's super important that you put your name on this in pencil. So I'm just gonna put it in the middle because they're all gonna look really similar when I hand them back, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is fold our paper into 12 sections. You'll fold it in thirds, and then you'll fold it in fourths, okay? So let's do this together. If you need to pause it, you can do this, okay? So I'm gonna fold it in thirds, and it's a rough thirds. If it's not perfect, that's okay. Keeping it straight, okay? Keeping it straight here. You can even take your pencil and crease it. I like it to be nice and crisp, okay? And then we're gonna fold it in the other third, and you can see, mine's not perfect, so I don't expect yours to be. We just want to get 12 boxes, okay? Ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. So let's crease it. Now, we're going to fold it in fourths. 3 times 4 gives me 12, okay? The easiest way to do that is to fold it in half, crease it, and then bring this guy up. Flip it over. Bring this guy up. Okay? So now I have 12 boxes. So let me go through it again. Thirds, quarters. Crease it, 12. You can pause the video if that was voodoo magic, and we can go through it one-on-one, okay? So pause the video now if you need to. Now, the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna notice each of these techniques. They're numbered. What I want you to do with a pencil or a Sharpie, but not something that's gonna bleed, is I want you to label each of your experiments within the section, because this is going to look a little challenging to figure out next class what you did. And next class we're going to cut these apart and reflect on them, glue them in our sketchbook. So it's important. So let's take some time. You can pause your video, and let's take some time, refer to our work through, and label each of these. Okay? So pause it if you need to. And now let's take a look at our materials. On your tray, you should have some materials. You'll have some paper towels, a cup of water, a watercolor brush. Now, watercolor brush is made with real hair, not thin synthetic hair. So think about a real person's ponytail versus like a Barbie doll hair, or like a non-natural weave, okay? The real hair soaks up the water. Think about when you get out of the pool and you squeeze the water out. It holds the water so nice. We need to have a real hair brush when you're using watercolor, okay? We can't use an acrylic brush. And some of you are going to say, well, where's that hair from? And I always say it's from 9th graders that weren't paying attention, okay? But actually, this one's from ponies. They're the bad ponies. No, I don't know. I'm sure no ponies were hurt, okay? So that's the first thing, a good watercolor brush and some water. Some of the other things that we're going to use is a white crayon, and you'll see what that does. A toothbrush, okay, nobody's ever put their actual teeth on this, so don't be afraid to touch it. Sea salt, okay, just like salt that you have at home. Plastic wrap, just like you have in your kitchen. Rubbing alcohol, okay, this is not going to make your weekend better. This is just rubbing alcohol, not drinking alcohol, okay? It's the stuff that they put on you to disinfect things, okay? So please don't drink that. Some rice from your kitchen and a glue stick, okay? So with all of this fun stuff, we're gonna have magic. Wait till you see what it does with the watercolors, okay? All right, let's get started with the next video.